We're entering the period of time in the Jewish calendar known as Bein HaMetzarim, between the boundaries, a time that signifies in Jewish history over the generations, beginning with the destruction of the first temple, the second temple, Jewish suffering, a loss of the relationship with Hashem that we had when He had a dwelling place among us, and some 1900 years that we've been strewn all over the globe. Inquisitions, the Holocaust, pogroms. And of course, it's a time for soul searching. It's really a time for thinking about where we're headed. And learn from the past, learn from the mistakes of the past, what not to do. You know, the Maharal points out that once it really sinks in that our actions on a national scale have an effect on our whole destiny, that every time we choose to do something that we shouldn't, we've got to recognize that what we're choosing is destruction. You know, we look back in history from the beginning of mankind. Remember, it was eating from the Eitz Hadas that brought death to the world. Death, the whole concept of having to part with people. All of the wonderful people, great people, people that were great for the Jewish nation, for humanity, plus, of course, everyone and their dear ones. All of that suffering, every family, every child, parents, siblings, all of that suffering came about because we made the wrong decisions. And the same with the destruction of the temple. The Jewish nation, destruction of the first temple, it was a matter of our morals. In the case of the second temple, is the way that we dealt with one another. We made the wrong choices, and that brought death and destruction. And now we look where the Jews are today. On the one hand, things are so much better. I mean, face it, about half the nation is back in Eretz Yisrael, we're in the land of Israel, surrounded by enemies that threaten our very existence. Jews all over the world, and many in Israel, who don't know that there's a creator, doesn't know that they were created and they're being sustained by a loving God that's there for us. If only we recognize His existence and live by His wisdom. Our destiny is once again on the line. We've got to make the right choice. The Jewish nation has to go in the right direction. If we are to continue to exist as a nation, we've got to make the right choices. We can't make the mistakes of the past. So what do? We've got to reach out to every Jew wherever he is. Let him know the truth. Get him to change the way he lives and the way he thinks. And understand we are the people of the Creator. We've got to live by that. We've got to have different expectations of ourselves. We just cannot go about our merry way, being who we are and accepting ourselves for that. We've got to be bigger. We've got to assume the role of a light unto the nations, of really being great people, radiating love for Hashem and love for humanity. That's a tall order. If it's up to one person, that'll have to be Mashiach, I guess. For us, it's a matter of mobilizing whatever manpower we can. Going out to the people. Setting them straight in a way that they can appreciate. That's what we at the Jerusalem Kollel are trying to do. Join our army any way you can. Let's make the right decision this time. And a whole turnaround for the destiny of the Jewish nation. And let us hasten the day that the temple will be rebuilt, the Jewish nation will once again be on its land, and we will live without enemies around us, but as a light unto the nations, inspiring all of humanity to the greatness that Hashem has wanted us to be. May this really be the last Tisha B'Av, Shiva Asar B'Tammuz that have to be mourned. May we only have joy, only have joy as a nation, as a people, as a big family.